Well, welcome everyone. We'll be starting in just a moment. Well, good afternoon. Welcome everyone. We'll be starting just a moment. We're going to give another minute for people to kind of settle in. Thank you. Alrighty, well, good afternoon and welcome to the Lunch and Learn, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Keiko Miyahara. I'm a Children's Oral Health Program Coordinator at UCSF, California Oral Health Technical Assistance Center, and I'll be hosting today's presentation. So the purpose of this webinar is to present information for the Component 2 of the Special One-Time Funding Opportunity. The goal for the RFA is to expand evidence-based school dental programs using best practices approach that will promote oral health, leading to sustainable clinical models. So a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. Everyone is muted, so if you experience any technical issues, please use the chat box to connect for help. Please use the Q&A box to ask questions during the webinar. And this presentation will be recorded and the recording will be available on COTAC's website. So today I'm delighted to welcome Daryl Wise and Mark Mayer from Aseptico. Daryl and Mark have both been with Aseptico for over 20 years. Much of that time has been spent working with portable dental equipment and public health programs. With that, I would now like to turn this presentation over to Daryl and Mark. Thank you.
It's great to be with you guys today. It's an honor, actually, to be with you. We've worked with public health for, about 2.5 decades now. And we know what you guys do all the time. You help kids and you help their families. And so we have an incredible amount of admiration for what you do. Today, we're going to share some information about one aspect of dental care, and that is the equipment. That's the part that we can probably have the most helpful information for you. And right before we do, I wasn't going to do this, but Mark and I put together a welcome video. We've never done a video before. We're not very good at it. I hope it is okay. So it's about 2 minutes. And Mark, maybe you could open up the welcome video.
Will do. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm Mark Mayer. Just wanted to say hi. Yeah, and we've got a little video for you to show. And then we'll get right into our PowerPoint with you. So we're going to get this here.
For 40 years, Aseptico has offered innovative portable dental products to help you provide care to patients anywhere. I'm Daryl Wise.
And I'm Mark Mayer. And we are here to introduce you to the complete line of Aseptico portable and mobile dental solutions for public health and field dentistry.
Do you provide dental sealants or dental hygiene in schools? Perhaps you are doing restorative treatment in rural areas. Whatever the challenge, Aseptico has helpful solutions for you.
All Aseptico dental systems are made in the USA, are fully regulatory compliant, certified for electrical safety, and supported by Aseptico.
Here's a quick overview of the solutions Aseptico can provide for you, including the brand new Go Ultra Portable Dental System. The new Go system shatters barriers of size, weight, performance, and energy consumption. It's Aseptico's most advanced portable system ever. Thanks for taking the time to learn about Aseptico's products for public health.
You can learn more about all Aseptico products at aseptico.com. We have a special section of the website dedicated to military and field dentistry. Thanks again.
Thank you for enduring that. And I promise that the second video we do, we learned a lot on that one. So we'll probably do better next time. But anyway, okay, well, we'll just jump in. The first thing we like to just share with all of you is all the different places portable dental equipment can be used. And really, the sky's the limit. The way they're built today, you could do dental care anywhere, on a boat, in the middle of a football field. The sky's the limit. And so here's a great picture of our portable equipment being delivered to a little village in Thailand. And so we work with a foundation that goes all over the world, and this is how they went about the transport. So portable equipment really is special in that it really can get to wherever you need to go. So the clinics are great and wonderful, but sometimes you really have to go to the patient. And so that's what Aseptico has made a priority out of. So.
And in the meantime, we have a short poll, just 2 questions for all of our participants. Keiko, could you put those? Oh, thank you. Yep. There's a poll for you. Just go ahead and answer either way on there. We figured there'd be quite a few no's on this. I've never had a provider treat me with a portable dental unit. Usually it's in an office, but things are changing, so. And we may see those numbers go up over the years here. Yeah, mostly no's. All right, and our next question. Oh, we're still, sorry, yeah. There's, if your group already owns a portable dental system, some of you may already have programs in place. If you do, that's great, and we can help you add things as needed. We hope to advise you on the best systems available for your purposes, and that's why we're here. But if you do, yeah, and it looks like we have a few people that do. And if you're getting started, we have some, like I said, Daryl and I have some resources, and we're going to be telling you some other places that you can look as well, as far as colleagues and things.
Okay, I guess we'll move to all the different places that portable equipment can be used. So Mark, maybe we'll just stop at 2 or 3 seconds at each slide so they can see the different locations.
Sure. Okay, and we've got the results up here. Okay. All right. So one of the things we wanted to go over, like a good quote Daryl had is, "It's hard to concentrate on schoolwork when I have a toothache." And we think programs like this are great, and we're glad that you guys are getting into them and adding programs to help people. It really increases the access to care. A lot of people will ask us, what do I need to start? Bare minimum, you need what we call a delivery system. And then usually somewhere for the patient to sit, somewhere for you to sit. And then there's additional equipment. But the first thing, we'll go into delivery systems, but here's some different places of, why they're important. School programs are so important because of and we might be preaching to the choir, so to speak, on this, because they are, everybody knows that, if you can improve a child's health, they're going to have better outcomes.
Yeah, that's good. And those are all kind of some statistics and things that you guys probably already know. And so, I mean, so in a nutshell, what you guys are doing is just so critical to millions of kids. And so we're lucky to actually kind of be able to partner with you guys in some way. So, okay, Mark, let's go to the next location shots. I'm not sure what country that is, but that's a missions team going over there. I think they go for 2 weeks per year.
And as you can see in the photo, on the left is what we call the delivery system. So that's going to have the suction, that's going to have the hand pieces, that's going to have an air water syringe so you can get water onto the site. And then you've got a place for the patient to sit, and then you have a place for the operators to sit. And then you can see the doctor up there. He's got a headlamp, so I'd call that additional equipment.
School-based programs, just a huge program in every state. Public health, FQHCs, federally qualified health centers.
And this is a fun picture. It's got, you can see the vast, of course, this is pre-COVID, but you can see how much capacity this site has for treating dental patients. So there's a number of Aseptico setups in here, as well as some other equipment, but you can see lights, you can see chairs, you can see the delivery units. They may be harder to see because they're kind of small, but this is a big setup.
And real quick, Mark, on that picture,
we'll go back.
Many states, many of you may be a part of a program like this. One of the popular ones is called, well, it used to be called Mission of Mercy. I'm not sure if that name has changed or not, but they go into big rooms, big buildings like this, all around the country, and they work with maybe 3,000 or 4,000 patients for free. So it's really, really cool. But portable equipment is critical to that. Aseptico's really big with the military. And so all of our dental equipment is on the Comfort and on the Mercy. So we love that idea to be a part of that kind of medical facility. Okay, so about 3 years ago, the state of California called us, and they were required to outfit all of their prisons with a mobile dental system. And so currently I'll get this number right. It's about 40. I mean, it's maybe 35 or 40 prisons that have Aseptico's mobile cart are chairs, stools, lights, and some have x-rays. So the CDCR of California uses our equipment also.
Yeah, this might be a familiar landmark to some of our participants, and we've got a military field hospitals will be set up in this kind of fashion. You can see there's tents and they've got it all, and there's actually a room for dental treatment, and we have a way to get our dental equipment into there.
So this is something we did for the military, and it's a dental module, we call it. And inside those cases there is a complete dental office. And they roll that onto a big trailer along with all their medical equipment, optometry equipment, and they wanted one for dental. And so you could just take this stuff anywhere and you can plug it into, if you have electricity, that's great. But if you don't, you can plug into a generator. And then some equipment is battery powered. So really you can go anywhere you want.
And this would be an example of that kit deployed, everything set up. So you can kind of see these, they don't take up very much space. A lot of your people might be fitting all of this equipment into a trunk of a car or a van, and the newer equipment really gives you a way to do that, even a smaller car. So there's another shot of that. You can see we've got the chair, the stools, the delivery system in the back, the light, and the x-ray, and then the tray stand, some accessories.
Here's just a sample kit that the US Coast Guard wanted. So they have a mobile cart, hydraulic chair, stool, light, and x-ray. And I think we have a few different type of kits here, Mark. Is there another next one?
Oh no, this is just the only sample kit we have on this presentation.
All right.
Yeah. And so now we want to go over the various kinds of delivery systems that you will see. You've really got two that you really want to focus on, depending on your program and depending on how your people are getting in and out of the facility. Do you have a van? Do you have a truck with a lift gate or a ramp? If you're fortunate enough to have something like that, then you might want to look at a cart-based delivery system. Or if you're able to keep the equipment on site. But really, there's the suitcase units, which we find are very popular and reliable. Those are the two on the left, and we'll kind of go over those real quick here. This is our latest system. This is the one that we really like, and we think that your team will like because of the size and weight of it. It's the smallest or most compact and advanced system we have. It's a suitcase style, so you just bring it in. It only weighs 34 pounds. It has wheels and a handle, so you just drag it in like luggage. This one is quieter because it uses electric hand pieces. And it's very small. It's the smallest of the systems we'll show you here today. We're really excited about it. So that's called the Aseptico Go, ultra portable dental system. Soon to be released. It's we'll be shipping production models in the next month or so.
Mark, I just want to confirm the price $69.50 is retail.
Right. All of your programs will have a discount from Aseptico. So please reach out to Daryl and I at gov@aseptico.com or by phone 425-408-9985, and we can get you price quotes. But these are just retail prices, just so you have an idea of what they cost. But your cost is going to be lower. And here we have the Express, which is also a suitcase style system. This one's been around, Daryl, do you think, what is it, 15 years or that long? Almost 15 years, I think this has been in service. This is extremely popular. Those of you who answered yes to we already have a program or already have a system, you might recognize this. This one's used very often for sealant programs, humanitarian mission work. And we have a Q&A. Let's see here. If we leave it, during operation, well, you're going to want to bring disinfectant with you. You're going to want to bring your hand pieces to autoclave. We do have a portable autoclave that we're not showing in this, but you could bring that. And do they come with an anti-retraction valve? Yes, the hand pieces and the syringe are anti-retraction. Thanks, Deanna. Okay, so the Express uses air-driven hand pieces. So commonly when you go into a dental office, you hear a high-pitched whine. That's an air-driven high-speed hand piece. People kind of fear that. So these are a little bit louder, and the electric hand pieces are significantly quieter even when using a high speed. The air-driven are more common and a little less expensive, but the electric hand pieces are definitely the best choice if you can. But this Express system with the air-driven hand pieces, the cost of ownership is very low, about $5,000 retail. And we have a version for hygiene and restorative, but you can use either one for both hygiene and restorative. It's just one works better for hygiene and one works better for restorative. And that's the Express portable dental system. And then the Transport 3 is a larger system. It's about 60 pounds. This is a military field system. So this one has the best performance and most flexibility. You could actually do endodontic procedures with this system where the other ones aren't designed to do that. But this system may not be for your program, but it is a really solid system, and it's the choice of a lot of the armed forces.
Hey, Mark, real quick. If you could take a look at the little handpiece that's to the left of the blue handpiece, just right to the left of that, that is an electric high-speed handpiece. So it's attached to a gray tubing, and that ends up connecting to a circuit board, and it runs off of a circuit board. An air-driven system, Mark, could you go back one slide?
There you go.
I wish we had a little bit of a close-up, but that's okay. That's the air-driven system, and the power from that comes from compressed air, and that's built in behind that black square there in the front. So there's really, two choices: air-driven, that's been around for over 100 years, it's tried and true, still is great, and electric, which has been around for 20 plus years, so fairly proven. And both ways are excellent. The electric is stronger. So let's just say you want to take out some molars. An electric handpiece would probably do a quicker, better job, but air-driven still can do it.
Yep. And this, you could probably see the electric handpiece a little better on this system. It's right under the AU350. You can see the contra angle. That's the high speed. And then down in the left corner, you see the slow speed attachment. So you just get one handpiece connection, but you swap out the hand pieces and you don't have to unscrew them or anything. They're really easy to switch between a high speed and a slow speed. So the Go will work with restorative with the handpiece shown, or hygiene with the handpiece down in the corner.
And so the handpiece, the handpiece down near the foot pedal, you would just slip on a disposable prophy angle and lock it, and then put it on the motor, and you would just do your prophies that way. So these are all compatible with all the things you need to do hygiene. And then, sealants, it's really important that a tooth gets really dry. And so we know how important the three-way air-water syringe is. So on this new unit, it was a kind of a design requirement that it came with extremely strong three-way syringe air so that you can quickly dry a tooth. Because if you're working with young kids, 4 or 5 years old, they don't want to be in a chair very long. They want to get up and out of there. So the quicker you can get your work done, the better.
Great. So we'll just reserve just a second, a few minutes here for any questions you guys have. I saw maybe somebody raised their hand as well. Let's see. So I guess I'll cover Deanna's question again. Basically, for disinfecting, you would bring the disinfectant with you. These systems are just like any dental system that you'd use in an office. So you use, your water cleaning. So you shock and clean the water system. You want to disinfect all the waste containers. You want to autoclave the hand pieces if you're using them. Use disposable vacuum tips, and then wipe down the console. So these are designed to be disinfected and cleaned, and they have autoclavable parts in order to do that. And of course, the syringe Daryl mentioned, especially with the Aseptico Go, it has a really strong, 80 PSI. And that design requirement, Daryl was the one that put us up to that. So he's got to take credit for that.
Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but in your daily cleaning, maybe at the end of the day when you're cleaning all the waste containers and the waste tubing hoses, it's important to have a non-foaming cleanser. Mark, is that right? A non-foaming?
That's correct. Yeah. Non-foaming vacuum system cleaner. Yeah.
And they come, you guys have probably used them already. And Mark and I are not dentists, so you guys know more about this than us, but they come in some great scents. There's citrus scents and all that different kind of good smells. So that's Henry Schein or Patterson or Benco Dental.
Yep. And there is none of the waste gets into the water reservoir. The system's completely designed with anti-retraction. Nothing goes back into the water bottle. These have an individual water bottle and then an individual waste container. So those are completely separate. There's no way to get waste into the water and back and forth. So,
hey, Mark, real quick. I think in the question someone asked, "What's that picture behind my head?" Oh, okay. And so that picture right there, just in case you're wondering, is in California. It's one of my favorite places. It's at Yosemite National Forest, and that is a picture of Half Dome, which I've been able to climb 6 times. Well, it's a hike, but it's a long day, and it's one of the greatest hikes I've ever been on in my life. So if you guys haven't done that, I sure hope you do it. Okay, back to this.
All right. And then now we did mention suitcase style and then cart style. Now, so if you are fortunate enough to have a van set up or have a truck, van with a lift gate or a ramp, or if you're able to keep it in the facility, this is the way to go. But you can look by the weight at 139 pounds versus 30 pounds. You're not going to want to drag this in and out of the facility all the time unless you actually have a van with a lift or a ramp or something. But these do give you the best possible performance, equivalent almost to an in-office setup, because it's basically is an in-office setup. It's just all in one cart. And so all you do is plug this in. It just plugs into the wall, power. It uses air-driven handpieces, this model. And it's basically standardized. This is the only configuration of this particular model, this AMC 15. It's just got suction, syringe, and then 3 handpiece lines. And then it does have a Cavitron quick disconnect, because if you're doing scaling, and we did forget to mention all these other systems actually have quick disconnect. So you can add a Cavitron scaler or a piezo scaler independently, that'll still have to be plugged into the wall, but you plug it into the delivery system so you can use the onboard air and water for your scaler. So that is a feature that is common to all of these. But this cart is under 10,000. It's going to be less for you guys, and it's just a standard configuration.
Yeah.
But let's say, go ahead, Daryl. Sorry.
You have a vehicle and a ramp. You know, otherwise, I would just, you know, if you're going into a school and out every day, the suitcase styles are probably the best for you.
Yep. And then if you really wanted to get fancy, we do have a customizable version of this cart. It's our model AMC 25, and we can add an electric handpiece. We can add all kinds of things to it. And so that's also available. And we see these commonly, you know, in hospital type settings. I see we have another Q&A question. Do we? What is more commonly used in dental offices? Air driven or electric? It depends on the treatment you get. You will find that most of your, if you go in for a cleaning or if you go in for just a filling, most often your doctor is using a air-driven handpiece. But if you go in and get oral surgery, if you go in and get a root canal, it's more common that they're using an electric handpiece. But these days, like Daryl said, in the last 20 years, electric handpieces have become a lot more popular. So it is very possible that your office, if they're high tech, they might be using electric handpieces for everything, including your filling, including your prophy. And you'll know, because if you're getting a filling and you don't hear this really loud, high-speed whine, you know that they're treating you with an electric handpiece. All right, we got that one. And so are there any other, we'll get a last questions at the end as well, but if there's no other questions about the delivery systems, then we'll move on to the seating portion of the presentation.
So Aseptico has two chairs. We have the blue one down at the bottom, which we've manufactured for probably 25 years. And that's the most common chair used with our public health partners. The one to the right is also a patient chair, and that is our new hydraulic chair. And, you know, for public health, generally speaking, they're gonna choose the blue chair. It weighs 30 pounds. It easily goes into that case, and they can carry it and put it in their trunk or backseat of the car. The hydraulic chair, the person that would want that is if you really need the patient to be really elevated, because that chair goes really high, and most public health people really won't require that. The military chooses that chair, and then the stools. We have two different kinds of stools. The one you see there, it's got there's four legs there, and each leg has to be independently set. So it's a little bit of a pain. You got to turn it upside down, set each leg to make sure they're level, and then a little button pops out to secure it. We do have a new stool that's hydraulic.
Yep.
And that you just reach down, grab a lever, and set it at 100 different levels within a couple seconds. But both are great. It just depends what you guys like.
So that, yeah, as Daryl said, the Aseptic chair weighing about 30 pounds, it's really easy to move around, and it's definitely our most popular chair. But as he said, you know, you have an adjustable backrest. You can move the patient up and down from seated to laying down position with them in the chair. But the height, you do have to adjust the height of this chair before the patient gets in the chair. Because it may be hard to see, but there's pins that are holding that height level. So it's on both sides. And this is something you bring in and cases included. We don't charge extra for these carrying cases. And we do have a pediatric size. Basically, the big difference is the backrest is a little shorter. I think we usually recommend, if you're doing an elementary school program, a pediatric would be okay. But usually by the time kids get to middle school, it's probably, the adult sizes. If it's middle school or older, the adult size is probably going to work better for you because it gives you more flexibility.
And generally speaking, in the morning when you arrive at a school, you would set that chair up at a certain height, and you never really need to change it during the day. It just stays at that height.
Exactly. But if you need to move the patient up and down, we have the hydraulic AseptiChair. So it doesn't require any power. It's a foot pump that actually moves. That you pump the back. There's a little foot pump, and you move the back up and down, and the backrest, and then the height of the chair can move up and down while the patient is seated. So you see, it's a lot more expensive and a lot heavier. So for a lot of your programs, you're probably most likely not going to choose this one. You'll probably choose the AseptiChair, but we wanted to make sure that you were able to see all the things that we had available. And these are, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say something really cool about that chair there is you can see that kind of that bar going out to the front of the chair. That's a stabilizing bar, but it's also the handle when you put the chair away and collapse it down, you lift it up just like a piece of luggage, and it's got wheels on the back, and you pull it wherever you want to go. So that's awesome. And then Mark, will you go back to the blue chair? One other great thing about this chair is, the worst scenario is if you get to a school and you try to set up a chair and you can't find a piece that you have to have for the chair. Like it rolled away somewhere, it's still in the car. Well, this chair, there are no disconnected pieces. It's all connected. So you'll always have the parts to set it up, which is kind of nice.
And then this was the AseptiStool. This is our oldie but goodie, the adjustable height. And again, as Daryl mentioned earlier, you do have to set the height before you sit in this chair. But it fits in the case, comes with the case. It only weighs 15 pounds. But the one we're finding most popular for the operator seating is the hydraulic AseptiStool. And as you can see, it's got improved comfort because of the hydraulic. When you sit in it, it kind of bounces, has a little give. And then you have the adjustable height while you're seated. So you're not stuck at the same height. You can adjust your height up and down a little bit, just not much heavier. It's only 19 pounds. And then I think we had a question pop up here. What is the weight limit, Lindsay asks, for the AseptiChair? It is designed for patients, I believe, up to 350 pounds is what we put in our manual. I believe anything higher requires some sort of bariatric certification. But this chair has a cold rolled steel frame. It is extremely durable. It is extremely strong. And we've been making them for 30 years. They're used worldwide, and all kinds of patients, from very light people to very heavy people, will fit in this chair to get their dental treatment. Okay, so there's our chair seating section. And if there's any other questions, you can ask them and we'll cover them at the end. And then we want to go over some additional equipment that may work well for you. We've got some lights, we've got X-ray, we've got tray stand, some equipment that'll just help with other things. One of the things we've found over the last few years is, there are a lot of our customers are using headlamps, rechargeable headlamps. Those are great. Those work really good, but it's always a good idea to have an overhead exam light. And Aseptico makes one that's under 10 pounds. It's bright. You can adjust the light intensity. You can actually adjust the beam diameter. And instead of like our old lights had halogen bulbs that you'd have to replace very frequently, this is an LED, so it requires less power. And the important thing is, well, that's important too, but the other important thing is you really don't have to change a bulb. You're never going to have to change the bulb on this light. And it includes the carrying case. It's a pretty small case, lightweight. I think the case length is about 42 inches, and then it's like 10 inches by 12 inches around. So it's a long, skinny case. It just collapses right in there. And you can adjust the gooseneck, the lights at the end of a gooseneck, so you can kind of adjust it as needed to get into a good position. And if you're in a really dark area, even if you have a headlamp, having an overhead light, just something to give you a baseline illumination of the site, is really going to help. And this is a good way to go about it. And then for your instruments, for your hand instruments, scalers, cotton balls, this is a portable tray stand. And again, it's very light, 8 pounds. This is really easy to bring in and out, just to give you a little additional working space. And then there's the Nomad. So I'll let Daryl talk about this one. This is one of his favorite products. I think we were involved with the company when they first started, and they called up Daryl and our predecessor Ken and said, "Hey, we think you guys might be able to sell this," and it's been a phenomenal product over the years. And go ahead.
Well, it happened to be in California at a CDA, and I think it was the CDA Anaheim, and we had a trade show booth, and I was there with one of our, Mark, I think it was Shane, maybe, or you, I don't know, was it you? I
think I was there too, yeah.
So anyway, a guy walks up to us with a really kind of a drawing that was not professional at all, and he said, "Hey, do you guys think a battery powered handheld X-ray would work with the portable world that you guys are in?" And so I asked him if I could have his sheet. So I think he went and made a copy or something, gave me a sheet, and I just took it back to our office to guys that are way smarter than I am. And I said, "Hey, see if this is something that we could maybe carry." And that had to be 16 years ago, Mark, I think. That is a long time.
2005, yeah.
And then the inventor, Dr. Clark Turner, he came from Utah, flew up to our building. We had a conference with him there. He finished the design. I mean, he started with the original one. This is version 4 now already. And that's how it came into the dental world. And so we were just lucky. We were totally lucky that he came to us, and we presented it to the military, public health, and now you can get it in many different ways. So if you do go for this, go for the best price you can find, but it's a super high quality X-ray. And some of you won't need it probably, but if you do need an X-ray, it is the way to go.
It's widely accepted in the United States as a safe device. It has FDA approval. It has state approval. There are a number of safety features built in. Just want to cover this because it is an X-ray. You can see the little disc at the very front is a leaded scatter shield. So any backscatter radiation that's bouncing off the patient who's wearing a vest is going to be reflected back towards the patient, away from the operator. The tube head itself has no leakage. There's a lead foil around the inside of it. So on the operator side, as long as you hold it out in front of you, you have a zone of safety protection. It's battery powered. There's features built in where if the battery is not fully charged and it's not going to do a good X-ray, it's actually going to stop you and make you recharge the battery so you don't expose the patient unnecessarily. And so it's been around, and it's only 5.5 pounds. And so this is a light X-ray. You just bring it in, take the X-ray. You'll need sensors or film. This just generates the X-ray, but that's the Nomad. And Aseptico sells it. You can buy it without the case, or you can buy it with 2 different case options. And this might be good if you are adding dental X-rays to your program. There's a small case which fits the Nomad, the batteries, and the charger, and it weighs 11 pounds. But the large case is very popular. It gives you room to add a laptop, sensors, and other accessories, in addition to holding the Nomad, the batteries, and the charger. So if you're going with an X-ray for your program, that might be the way to go. All right. Okay, and Daryl has some sage advice for the participants here. Seek advice from your colleagues.
Yep. I mean, learning from people that are doing it is just awesome. I mean, there's so many things you can learn and not have to, make as many mistakes. And so it's really nice to talk to people. There's experts. There's, teledentistry is so big these days, and there's experts out there. One of them is from San Francisco. It's a Dr. Glassman. I think he's like the father of teledentistry. I think it was maybe his vision. And wow, has it become so important. And a young guy, Dr. Nathan Suter, he knows Dr. Glassman well, and they do, seminars. So there's some great people to talk to. And there's some classes here and there at shows. Mark and I can really only speak to equipment. There's so many other things that we wouldn't be able to really give you too much information on, but other people can.
All right. And you can see our pretty picture here. I believe our colleague Shane was taking a trip with our AEU 350 Aseptico Go, and there's a photo of it stowed in the overhead bin of an airplane. So this is very small. We just wanted to use that to let you see, the size of the system, and that is dentistry in a box right there. I mean, that's what you need.
And I think our slides are done.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Keiko,
so that leaves us with time for additional questions, if anybody has any, and we'll take a look and turn it back to Keiko.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Daryl and Mark. So if anybody has any questions, please go ahead and type in the Q&A box. We still have a little more than 10 minutes for Q&A. But yeah.
And if anybody, I'm just going to ask, because we're trying to learn as much as we can about how everybody responded to the whole COVID crisis, and I'm sure there's a ton of new innovative ideas out there in public health that Mark and I have never even heard of. And so, hey, if you guys have any kind of really cool, innovative program that you've developed during these last 12 months, feel free to share it. We would love to learn. I think one of them, I think one person told me, and I don't know how this works, but they set up some type of drive-through situation, and I don't even know what state I was talking to, and maybe you guys know about this, but some kind of drive-through program. I have no idea how it works, but it sounded super innovative, and I would love to see that program, and hopefully, I'll see it.
Yeah, and Daryl, I'm glad you brought that up, because at one of our FQHC, the Federally Qualified Healthcare Center in Alameda County, has started this drive-through program during COVID, and it was very successful. And a lot of the local oral health programs have started implementing that drive-through. And they do kindergarten oral health screenings and fluoride varnish. So it's been really successful and very innovative. And I'm sure they use these portable equipment when doing these drive-throughs.
That's incredible to me. I can't even almost picture how that works, but it's amazing.
Yeah, would love to share these pictures with you.
It's really sounds really cool.
So somehow videotape it sometime and share it with everybody, just to give them some ideas.
Absolutely.
Great. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not seeing many questions in the Q&A box or in the chat box.
Okay.
Well, if you do have questions, there's our contact information, our website. The best email to reach Daryl and I at is gov@aseptico.com. And again, any questions that you have about the equipment, if we can help you tailor, we're here to help our equipment needs, tailor our equipment to your needs. Thank you so much.
There's a comment in the chat box saying, great job on your first video. So yes, congratulations. Thank you so much for making this great video.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people are kind of, you guys gave us a very great idea. They're going to probably think about it and reach out to you.
Sure.
So yeah, wonderful. All right.
Oh, wait, did we have another Q&A pop up? Thanks, Anonymous. Thank you so much.
Yeah, great. All right. Okay, if there are no more questions, so we will have the recording on our COTAX website after the meeting, and we'll also have Daryl and Mark's contact information as well. And like Daryl and Mark says, please go ahead and reach out to them for any information. Okay.
And this was, hey, honestly, this is really an honor for us. And you can even, reach out to us, and it doesn't even have to do with our equipment. If you have just a question about mobile dentistry, and if we know the answer to it, we'll just love to share that with you. And it doesn't even have to do with our equipment. So anytime you want.
Thank you all so much for your time. We really, really appreciate.
Yeah.
Good audience.
Yes. Well, thank you again to you, Daryl, and to Mark. Thank you for the engaging session and very informative. And thank you for your time. It was really a pleasure to have you and the audience together today. So this concludes our webinar today. Thank you all for attending, and we hope you have enjoyed this presentation. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.